Well, hello, shirlierox here. Welcome to Soda Dungeon 2 Scripting Guide. Now, I say guide, I'm a total noob at this game, but I've been playing around with the scripts and I've got a decent sort of set of scripts which are sort of like helping me progress through the dungeons. So currently I'm on Dimension 5. I'm just going to quickly jump to Dungeon 6 because I've got the warp ability, so let's get to the next zone and we'll talk about the scripts, and you can see the scripts running a little bit. Okay, so we are in a fresh dungeon. I've got my group of default soda junkies there. So let's talk about scripting. So scripting is something you get in the game which is unlocked when you get the arena, and you've got a little option down here called soda script. So if we go on this, it's a list of triggers that can be applied to one or more characters in battle. When it's their turn, they evaluate the triggers from top to bottom. If any condition is met, they perform that skill. So it's like some basic form of programming. So a trigger will be ignored if a condition is met, but the character cannot perform the skill. So, say for instance, if you get the Mystic to do the recharge ability, and you're not at level 25, you don't have that ability, then they'll still, you know, do other stuff, but they won't like just bug out and stop. Okay, so how do you get to the scripts? Right, you click in here. So this is the default script. Now, the important thing to remember about this one is you cannot modify it, you cannot delete it, you cannot rename it. If you did, it would break the whole auto run of the game, which is why you could just say it's read only. So we'll go in this and talk about this. So there's lots of logic statements in this. So in this one, there is 8 steps. And this is the default behavior for it. So you've got a script number here. Now, you can't modify this, but normally you can move these around. So this script here is if enemy is ore, use the pickaxe ability. If self hit points is less than 60, strongest heal. If allies hit points is less than 60%, strongest heal. If enemy team alive so if there's more than 2 enemies alive in a team, you'll do the strongest group attack. If enemy hit points is greater than 90, do the double strike ability. And if enemy status is not equal to negative, do a debuff. If enemy rank is greater than mini boss, strongest single target group attack, and if enemy isn't or default attack. Okay, now I don't know what the I think that one is just for combat, because if you didn't have that thing in, I don't think it would actually do attacks, because there's strongest attack for group. And there's double strike, so that's the standard default attack. So if the enemy isn't a piece of ore, attack it. Okay, so that means you need to add new things to your skills. So let me just have a little look at the characters. So one of the go-to things I like to use in a build is a thief. So if we go to thief, let me see if I can see I don't think you can see the skills from this screen. No, I think I'd actually have to add them in. But the thief has a ability of stealing stuff. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so the thief has got the ability called ransack, which you get at level 25. And with that one, you deal 1.2% attack and chance to steal gold, item, and essence. So that's really important for later on you get in the game. So we need a script for that. Luckily, I've done one. So this is my thief script. We're going to view it. So it's a really simple one. It's got 2 statements to it. So in this, it's if the enemy has essence, use the ransack ability. If the enemy rank is not equal to normal, rank. So those 2 conditions are if it's got essence, it'll try to steal the essence. And if the enemy is not a normal one, we'll try and ransack it. And that's to try and get any items from it. Okay, so next up we'll look at Mystic. Now, this is going to be a bit of a long-winded video, so sorry about that. Mystic. So if we go to this one. Now, level 25, you get the ability of recharge. So recharge is, I've seen some people describe it as a battery. It's so good. It will make your runs so much easier. a recharge ability recharges multi-points, magic points for the whole team. So if you cast this, you can it'll mean that you'll never run out of magic points for your heals, and it makes it super important. So we need a script for that ability. So I've added one in for Mystic. So we've got a few more steps in this one. So we've got if ally's magic points is less than 60%, cast a recharge ability. If my own magic points is less than 60%, cast recharge. If enemy is ore, we do default attack. If enemy team is greater than 3, we do the strongest group attack. Now I've done that one because some of the abilities the Mystic uses, she does. Let's see if I can show you the actual ability. I don't think it's worth using some of the group attacks on a lower number of people. So let's see, Mystic. So does it show me the ability? I don't think it shows me her default vanilla spells. No, I'd have to add her. But basically, she's got like a group attack, and that is just going to be set up to use for, you know, a large number of enemies. So if it's over 3, you will cast that bigger group's attack. So another one, if my own magic point is over 80%, I'll do my strongest single attack. That's just to save mana, basically, so you don't burn through it. If enemy rank is not equal norm, we'll do our strongest single attack. So that'll be like a magic attack. And if enemy is weakest, we'll do the strongest single target attack. So that's going to target. Now you can unlock hit points. So I don't know if that. I've got that in, but I don't know if that's valid until we can see the hit points. So that's going to go for the weakest enemy. Okay, right. Next up. So we've done Thief, we've done Mystic. So let's go into this. Let's go into characters. So, let's talk about Miner. Right, Miner at level 25 gets the transmute ability. Now, this is a bit of an ability which I don't know if I like or not. This turns an enemy into ore, and you can only do it one per battle. So we've added a script for that. So Miner. So this has got a few. I've got if enemy has essence, strongest attack. I've got if enemy rank is not equal norm, strongest single attack. I've got if enemies ore, we use the pickaxe ability. If enemy team is greater than 1, default attack. That's so we don't try and use the transmute ability if there's more than one person. And then if enemy team alive, transmute. So that will, you can leave that in or you can turn that off. It depends if you want ore for crafting. If you leave that in, it will slow your runs down. So it's a pity you can't toggle these on and off. That's the only thing I don't like about these triggers. I can't remember why I put that one in. If enemy has essence, strongest attack. It must be, I think it's just targeting the strongest enemy with essence. So yeah, that's the Miner. Now Nursey. Nurse is going to be one of your major people in the group. So I think at 25 she gets the group heal ability. So you might not see some of these abilities if you've not actually got your characters leveled up. I'm level 30, so at 25 I got the group heal ability, which heals the entire party. So that's why I've got that in. So we will talk about that. So if we go into this, view edit. So if I've done this, I'm trying to keep the nurse can be one-shotted so easy. So what I've done is I've got if nurse hit points is less than 100%, do group heal. Then I've got if allies hit point is less than 40%, we do first aid. So that's a single person's attack. Then we've got if allies hit points is less than 80%, we do group heal. This is just to try and keep people fully healed up. And then we've got if enemy's rank is not equal to norm, we use the biohazard ability. Now I don't think I've got that ability yet. I think that's something I'm going to add in later on. Or is that from the Dark Miner? I can't remember. What a terrible tutorial. Right, Carpenter is quite simple. I've got, if enemy is ore, use default attack. And if enemy is weakest, nailed it. This is to stop them wasting mana on enemies that don't need it. So, say for instance, if I didn't have that on, there's a chance they would be using the spells on the ore, and I have seen them use it on the ore quite a bit. In fact, I've got a script for Dark Mage which needs modifying, so I can show you how to modify them. Not this one. Not this one. If enemy is ore, default attack. If enemy team alive is greater than 2, we use the Noxing ability. If enemy rank is not equal to norm, strongest attack. One of these needs modifying. I think it might be the Mystic. Yes, so for the... No, we have got it for that one. I'm pretty sure one of my characters has got the... needs the ability. Is ore. I mean, I could just show you how I'd set it up for a future person. So, I've not got any hunters yet. The name, you can call it what you want. You could call it, you know, Boaty McBoatface, whatever you want. It's what you want to know as a reference. Okay, so this is going to be for my hunter one. So we're going to use, so if enemy is ore, default attack, and then you can add another trigger like this. So I could have if enemy let's have a look. What should we do? Right, if enemy rank, so these are where you can do all the flows. So you can do conditions, and then you can do the like variables for it. So if enemy rank equals boss, and then you can choose the default abilities here. So you've got default attack, strongest attack, and then you've got a customer, the specific ones here. So, I don't know what, I've not really got that many hunter abilities. I reckon that looks like a hunter ability. So that'd be that. And I could also do... I don't think it's worth me modifying anything else. So you do need to assign these though. So to assign a script, you come to the compendium here, and then you go to the character. So Soda Junkie here, you're using the default script. So Carpenter, you can choose a script there. You just choose like that. And then once you've got them all set up, they're going to go through and use their default stuff. So I don't think I've got a default script for Soda Junkie. So we could add one for that, I guess, just to demonstrate it. So let's do a new script. Just call it Soda. Because I know these have got a special ability. So if enemy, let's just add the ore one so we know what we're doing it. So if enemy is ore, default attack. And then we do if enemy, let's have a look. Yeah, we'll go for weakest. So they have got a special ability of burp. Where's it gone? Yeah, there you go. And that will... So these scripts don't know. They don't... If you put thief as a name, they don't know that this script is for the thief. They will just go through this. They'll go for the default one at first, and then they'll go for this one. So if I didn't put that line in, there's a chance I could be burping at all. So hopefully that's going to work. So we just need to assign that to our character now. And it's the last one we've added, so it's there. And then hopefully I can just send these off and do a little bit of a dungeon run. So, okay, here we go. Now, we've put auto on now. So this ability here is 3 magic points. It deals 1.8% attack to target, turns them around, and a chance to poison. So let's turn it on, see if it works. There you go. Burped in the face. So now he's only going to use that ability till he runs out of magic points, and then he's going to start using the normal attacks. See, and he's not using the burp on that one. He's just attacking it. So that's interesting. So that's for the, so that could be seen as a negative thing to have in the script. So you could put a line in for that. If enemies greater than 2 attack, and that might get around that. Depends if an iron ore is cast as an enemy. There we go. We're back to burping. There you go. But my magic points are all up. Now we're going to default back to standard attacks. So that was a quick little run to show you us getting some lootages and a bit of thing. So as I said, with the mining thing, that was a bit of a problem with the mining script then. So I probably could actually alter these scripts and have like a default script for if enemy, because it goes in order of things. So if enemies or default attack. So I could put if enemy team alive is greater than 1, default attack. So scripts, ordering. So ordering is very important. So you can alter the order of them. So hopefully now the way this will flow is if there's more than 1 enemy alive, we'll do default attack. If enemies ore, they'll do default attack. And if enemies weakest, we'll do big burp. Now, I don't know what would happen if I did big burp at the top one. Maybe I need to do it like this. So if enemy team's alive, we attack it. If enemy is weakest, we do big burp. And if enemies or default attack. I don't know which way I should have that. No, I think that'd be a better way. So with these scripts, once you've got them all assigned, as we have done, and once you've got more people in the dungeon, I can just assign a whole load of people. So we'll have a thief, we'll have a mystic, we'll have a nurse, we'll have a carpenter, another carpenter, because carpenters are good for DPS. Oh, we'll add a miner as well. So I'll talk a little bit about the miner. So let me just switch. Yeah, let me just switch your order. So we'll have miner, thief, mystic, nurse, and then the 2 DPSs. So I like to put, sometimes when doing an ore run, I like to have the miners first because they'll be the first one on the scene and they'll get to interact with the ore first. But it's down to preference. Right, so let's try with our auto magical scripts now. Let's see if this works. So we will start from. We'll fly through those levels, so we'll just do go from here. Okay, here we go. So this is hands off with no interaction from me. So as you can see, we're automatically attacking the ore, which is good. Okay, you can see my scripts aren't set up to use the warps. I think it's set by default to use keys on the mine shaft, so we will do the mining thing now. But with these scripts, it just means you can just set these off and running. And currently at the moment, if I've got them doing a run, it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to do a run. You can interrupt it and just like do that, choose your rewards. So there we go, that's the mining script coming in. If an enemy is 1, transmute, turns them into ore. So he's used magic points now, so that's gone down. So as you can see, it's really good to go for your runs and have all these abilities. Now, we've not actually seen the mystic kick in with any of the restore abilities yet for the magic. And there we go, MP regen. So as you can see, having this minor thing turned on could slow down your runs, but having all the other stuff on, you can see it's going to be good because we've got the regen on now, so we're going to get all our magic points back, which means the thief can carry on looting, the nurse can carry on healing, the carpenters and DPS can carry on doing their attacks. So yeah, hopefully you found this scripting video slightly helpful. Bit waffly, but sorry about that. If you got any improvements on the scripts I put in, don't forget to comment below, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you for watching. See you again next time.